Sure. So, where we last left off in our adventures, the party had gotten together and moved forward on their ship towards the facing off there against the pirate they've been hired to go defeat for purposes of the mission they were originally sent on, and to do a favor for accidental shootings. Nobody to blame. And as upon the boat, we left, and the crew the party was able to convince the captain to go towards the village where the fisherman who saw the pirate. Skull pirate guy we were after had met him, and the party went to go see where they. Upon reaching the fishing village, to everyone's surprise, but mostly Jubei's, the village ended up being full of Nipponese migrants who came from his hometown, his home place of Nipponese, 2 generations ago, I believe it was, Nano?
About 40 years, actually.
40 years? Yeah, about just 2 generations. That's 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 2 generations. And, and to, Jubei was amazed and surprised and a little heartwarmed to return to his, a place so familiar to him. And, when he eventually talked to it, they found out the person they needed to speak to was, in fact, the village elder. And upon going to meeting a man and his sons and his wife where they had dinner, they talked, and the man agreed to take the uh, party to go find the elder, who had apparently has had demon assaults in the last 5 years, which unfortunately coincides very directly of a personal part of Jubei's life. And he can't help but think there's something connection there, possibly. But in any case, the party has agreed to go find the elder and hopefully get the information they need and possibly take care of this weird Oni, which I can't remember the name of, if you remember it, Nano.
It is a Nue, not
A,
quite an Oni.
a new A.
It's kind of like because I know I told you guys last time, it's kind of like a Japanese chimera.
Yeah, the Japanese chimera. So it's not a fiend?
Well, it is from the spirit realm, and it is considered a demonic creature,
Okay, so
but it looks like a chimera of sorts.
I'm just asking for the sake of would my character know if it's a fiend?
For the sake of this, yes, it is a fiend.
Okay, I just need to know for clarification due to the weapon I have. Remember? Okay,
I
so
know.
yeah, and I believe that I covered everything, Nano. Unless you think I missed something.
I think that's sufficient. You guys had been invited into. Did I give this dude? I gave him a name.
I can't
Into
remember.
this gentleman's home. We'll call him Akashi. Into Akashi's home, where his wife and 2 little daughters um, had a nice meal prepared for everybody. You guys enjoyed your meal. Played with the daughters for a little bit while he and his son got prepared. Well, Akashi is going. His son just helped his father get prepared, and he kind of makes his way out and kind of Nipponese regalia. It's Jubei. You look at it and you're feeling your homeland pride for a moment whenever you see him head out with his black and red armor. And he kind of looks towards you all and speaks Nipponese a moment in a hushed tone to Jubei. My friend, it may be wise if you and your companions go into town and purchase some silver and additional items that might be required to fight this demon.
I see. Thank you very much for the information. And I'll turn to the party. He goes, friends, I believe we must do some. So I'm assuming that once again, due to my background and where I would definitely know this kind of stuff. Silver is a thing that's necessary to fight this monster.
Yes, it definitely helps. Silver is like a poison to a new item.
So it's a bit kind of like a werewolf in that sense. Okay.
A little bit.
The new the creature we are about to hunt has a affliction to silver, my friends, and it would be best to gather some supplies and weapons, perhaps coating some of our gear in it, or perhaps picking up silver weapons to do battle.
So, like, banks are like the most dangerous place this thing could be. Maybe you could trap it in a bank or something. Wait, do these people have banks? They have banks, right?
Yes, Bill, we have banks in Nipponese.
Well, you never know. Some people don't have, a financial structure. All right, that makes sense to me. Where's where's the blacksmith guy?
It is in town. He is about the center of it. He is hard to miss.
Very good. Shall we all head off then?
I will be awaiting you once you return.
Very good. And I guess we will.
Well, we're acquiring weapons now, or
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you weren't there, though. Yeah, we need. The thing has a weakness to silver, so we're gathering silver, plating, getting our gear with silver.
oh, got it.
All right, let's see here. I got like 3 gold and 9 silver, so that should probably be what 30 worth of silver.
Uh, yes, 10 gold is 10 silver, so that math adds up. But I don't think we're. It might be a bit more costly for pure silver than the coins themselves, of course, Bill.
And that's how they get you.
And we are all paying for ourselves, yes?
Can anybody spite me?
Uh, well,
I actually never got paid. Ever.
yes, Bill. To be fair, I actually have no money left after purchasing the healing potions back at the uh, before we left.
Upon hearing this, Akashi kind of arches a brow at you all, and he's like, maybe the blacksmith would just ask for a favor in return. He is pretty generous.
Very good.
So
Especially when it comes to just let him know you're using it to hunt the new way.
But we will very much attempt this. Thank you for your suggestion, my friend. Give him a bow.
He bows back. Everyone casts mage armor.
By the way, these houses and stuff, are we just like kind of like in a common people area, or?
It looks like this side that you guys are on is a part of the newer development. The other side is the old part of town. Like this section here, if you look across the little river, clearly are warehouses. It's still, despite being 40 years old, developing. Well, once you guys get into town, I'll explain a little bit more because there's a reason behind it.
Okay.
Sounds good. Oh, by the way, Devia. Speaking of potions, and Jimmy reaches into his pouch and goes, here, and I'm going to hand you a healing potion. A 1d, 2d4, or basic healing potion.
Let me add that to my inventory before I forget.
Yeah, because I bought that for you too, and you weren't here last time to give it to you.
Now I got 3 of them.
That's good.
She will pocket it and say, well, thank you, Jube. That is very generous.
Of course, Davia. I suppose we should head off to town then.
Oh, yes, of course. Let us go.
Very good. And so head off and into town towards the blacksmith, I guess.
Okay. You guys head into the town proper. It's a little bustling. It's not like a huge city by any means, but there's a couple hundred folk that live. One of the things that really stands out as you get to this bridge here, you look up and you see where the wall ends, and you can tell that there's some obvious damage. Um, Jubei, since you grew up in Nippon and you're kind of part of the order, you can tell that this has been damaged by yokai and demons. It seems they're rebuilding after some form of attack.
Jimmy kind of looks at that, kind of gives a disgruntled sigh at the sign of the damage, and I'm assuming there's people out there building or repairing it. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, there's some workers out there building the wall. You see a couple of very simple pulley systems moving chunks of wood for towards a building frame. Um, they seem to be pretty busy with their work, but in the center of the town, you kind of catch this interesting light green smoke.
Hmm.
How far away is it from us?
It's you guys are on the bridge. Let me look. Probably about 180 feet, 80 to 100 feet.
Uh, should we go
It's
see what
not.
that is about?
Does it seem like something that we must bother with?
Uh, would I understand what that is? It something I would personally know what would cause green smoke, or
No, I don't think you would.
okay? Well, I admit it. I am curious about it. Uh,
It's a very light, pale green smoke, almost like leaves on a spring flower.
hmm.
And you guys kind of look a little bit closer. You can roll me. Feel free to roll me a perception check.
Do- 17.
All right. So Jubei and Bill both notice these little. They almost seem like petals, but you can tell they're not because it's smoke. Um, Petals of like a light pink smoke that kind of float around this little plume of green.
Hmm. That
Very
is
unusual.
fascinating. Uh, I'll just go. Okay. Is it towards the blacksmiths?
It is.
Well, we are heading that way anyways. I suppose it can't hurt to take a peek.
Yes, very well.
So we'll head towards the smoke.
Also, is Everin still here?
I
Yeah.
have.
Oh, there you are.
She's dead.
Just kind of sleepwalking beside us.
There's just a lot of things going in the background.
Oh, okay.
As you guys make your way towards the blacksmith, you all get a couple of looks from the villagers, specifically Davia, but it's not really like a racist look or anything of that manner. It's just a very skeptical look, and you can tell they're kind of cautious of her. It's more than likely due to recent events. Um, but as you make your way in, there are two guards posted at the entrance. That would be right here, this little gate. And they're in full samurai regalia. They both have these super long spears, a nice long bow with quivers that have quite a few arrows, and then they got about 3 different swords on their hips. They're armed to the teeth, quite literally almost. And one of them looks over at the group and he speaks in Nipponese. What is your business here?
We wish to see the blacksmith. We have a desire to go hunt the fucking thing I can never remember the name of because it's.
New.
Sorry?
There you go. I typed it for you.
The we wish to go help your elder hunt the creature down, and we were told that the smith would be able to assist us. May I ask what is going on here?
He kind of looks you over a moment. And he sees Davia in the background. He kind of looks towards the other guy who just lets out a yawn and shrugs. And he looks back at you, Jubei. It is a normal day full of hustle and bustle. What exactly do you mean, what is going on?
Well, you seem to be guarding here at the gate, and there is green smoke in the horizon. I did not think these were normal things.
Well, we are here at the gates just in case more yokai show up.
Because I take it there was attacks recently.
About a week ago,
See?
as far as the green smoke goes, well, that is Goro, our smithy.
I understand. Well, if it is all the same to you, we do have business with him, if that is okay.
Just don't make any trouble. We have enough as it is.
Of course, I would do no such thing to bring you any sort of issue or trouble upon here, my friend.
Very well.
Then continues forward.
Alrighty.
So, what were the three of you talking about?
Apparently, the village has been attacked by demons of the last week, and the green smoke is at the smithy, so he would apparently align with our goal in the first place to head towards that direction.
So we would perhaps get to the chance to glimpse by it as we go by?
With not very much enter the smithy itself for the smokies, I'm curious what causes such a strange effect.
Hmm.
I can tell you one thing. It's not something common in Nippon, so it may be unique to this very island.
Perhaps a special weapon or way of smithing of so?
That would be my guess. Perhaps a different sort of metal, even.
I suppose I am more intrigued now.
Indeed. It could be very useful depending on what its properties are. And we continue to the smithy.
Oh, by the way, Nano, with the uh, occasional lessons in Nipponese that Davi's been getting, how much of like the conversations that have been going on would she be able to pick up on?
Let me get intelligence.
Oh God.
Well, it's not wisdom, at least.
Crap, I gotta remember where that is.
Yeah, no, it's good. Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
You're picking up a fair chunk of it. Basic word. Um, the way that the like sentences flow is a bit foreign to you. Um, because they use some words that seem like they should go after other words before them. You know what I mean? You guys ever experienced that with foreign languages? Um, so just some of the flow is a little bit weird, and there's some words that you still don't quite understand. But
so I'm able to get like the general basic of what I'm hearing.
yeah, and you also can fluently ask where the restroom is.
Okay.
Well, there goes that.
Well, just issues. Hopefully, she'll be back on.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, yeah. So you guys head down towards the smithy, and there you see a stout dwarven man with a like long Fu Manchu, uh, stark white. His hair is kind of long and he's stark white. And for a dwarf, he kind of floats across the air. It's really weird. He's very fluid in his movements, and he seems to be just hammering away at this very interesting pole arm that has like the mouth of a dragon opening up with a fine blade that kind of curves out towards a bit of a cutting edge.
Quick question. Uh, dwarves
Quick
common in
answer.
Nipponese? In Nippon?
Um,
Or is this like...
there are a couple of clans that are dwarven in Nippon.
Okay, so he could be a Nippon... I'm just asking. Nipponese dwarves are a thing, so... you, you're done. You can't hear again, Nano. Hello? Nano?
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Now we can hear you.
I think I might need to find some drivers and update them. Anyway, yeah, they're just kind of a minority in Nippon. They make up maybe like 10% of the entire population.
Okay, fair. So it's not an oddity. It's rare, but it's not like, wow, fucking Nipponese dwarf. I've never seen that before. Fair enough. Okay.
Yes, precisely.
Okay, so it's like...
It's still very interesting to meet one because they kind of keep to themselves. But they have a you roll me a history check. You can do it at advantage since this has to do with your culture.
History. 17.
There you go. You know that the Nipponese dwarves have a very particular way of smithing that's actually less like typical dwarves and closer to elves, which sets them apart and kind of alienates them from like Ostrellaran dwarves or any other dwarves really. But they have a knack for magic smithing.
Interesting.
So they're able to enchant things, and I guess basically what they do is they can hammer in enchantments as they go on. So they're very valued for that skill alone. But of course, the enchantment that they put into weapons and armor and such reflects the materials used, the quality of the materials used, and the amount of time spent.
Okay.
And anyway, as you guys are watching him kind of fluidly smith this pole arm, he like pulls it away, the blade as still like glowing hot, and he quenches it. Just that nice green smoke kind of billows out of it, and with petals of little pink smoke that reminds you of sakura leaves, Jubei. And he like pulls it out a moment and kind of looks at it, observing it with his keen eye, and you see him hold it with one hand, and he kind of spins it around, and this like ghostly green glow follows the blade wherever it goes, before he brings it to a stop after he's done spinning it around, and he sits down next to his grinding wheel and just begins to grind at the blade. Little green sparks shooting out of the metal.
Okay. Uh, Now, I'm assuming I would know the traditional way to greet a dwarf in Nippon. Is it the same greeting, or is there something special you generally do with the dwarf culture of Nippon?
As far as you know, they're typically a bit more laid back than regular dwarves are, actually.
Okay.
So you can kind of just greet them however. They are known for their odd requests, though.
Very good. Well, Jubei will approach the dwarf and give him a bow. Goes, Master Dwarf, it is an honor to meet you here.
He's just still grinding away at the blade a
Oh,
moment. He like
hey, Cinder.
flips it over.
Oh,
Are you dead, my man?
I just woke up.
There you go. He flips the blade over and is still grinding away at it a moment, and he's like, strangers to this strange island. He kind of looks over at you a moment. I have not seen you around here before, nor your friends.
It is very true. We are new to this island. We came here in hopes of gathering information on the dreaded pirate who has been ravaging the waves of late around here. We had hoped to speak to the mayor about him, for he had apparently had information on this creature. But we have also discovered that, to my dismay, demons have been running amok in this land. We were hoping to assist him in his hunt to destroy the Niu.
Ah, yes. That is quite true, but what does this have to do with me, good sir?
We were directed here from, what was the guy's name? Kikashi? Or am I-
Akashi.
Okay.
Akashi.
Akashi.
Naruto!
By Akashi, that you would be able to assist us with silver weaponry to help us defeat our foe.
Silver weaponry, huh? For a new way. Well, that is quite appropriate. He gets up and examines the blade a moment. There's like a nice sheen to it. And he kind of walks out around the back a moment, still in view of you all, and he spins the pole arm again, and you see that faint green glow just kind of trail along as with the blade as it moves. And he just kind of picks up speed when he spins it before he thrusts it forward towards a target that's like 30 feet away. And you just see this like vortex of wind just shoot towards that target and like impales it and then the back just blows out. And he's like, very nice. Very nice.
That is a fascinating technique you have there, Master Dwarf. May I ask, is such craftsmanship normal for you, or is there something special about this particular blade?
You could call me quite great at my craft. This was made out of some special materials, particularly a wind gem.
I see.
He kind of sniffs the air a moment. I can smell the scent of fire gems upon you, or one of your own.
Yes, we have indeed found such gems.
Very interesting. Might I see it if you have it on you?
Jubei turns to Davia. Davia, do you mind if this dwarf takes a look at the fire gems you have in your possession?
Looking the dwarf guy over, does he seem like he won't do anything sneaky? Nano?
You there, Nano? Oh
We
no,
can't
he's
hear
mute
you
again. God.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, we can hear
Yep.
Roll me an insight.
Okay.
you. God.
I don't know what's going on. It's just weird.
What
He's
dwarf?
completely trustworthy. You feel that you could give this guy all your money and valued possessions, and he would not care. He would just be like, thank you, and he'll just put it somewhere and never use it.
I feel like Dom is the whole complete opposite. Where we're like, no, you can't trust this man. He's out to kill us.
I feel like that would just be how she is normally, though. So I guess maybe that she reacts.
Jubei turns it up.
Tommy just like squints.
Jubei turns it up. He goes, perhaps he could build something out of it, Davia. Yeah, apparently he uses them to forge powerful weaponry.
And what sort of weapon would you be able to make with this?
Well, I would have to see it first, young lady.
Tommy stands there thinking for a moment. And then leans towards Jubei and whispers, if he takes this away from me, you are paying me back with...
Of course, Davia, I do not imagine he will take it from you, though. Most of the dwarven folk are very trustworthy by nature. Honor is very important to them, even more so than most Nipponese.
You can never tell with individuals. But alright, if you will upfront the money if something happens, then very well. She'll take out the flamerix.
Flamarix?
Flamarix.
Alright. He gingerly takes it with just like kind of a grace that's alien to dwarves altogether, and he removes his hand from the pole arm, and it's still just standing straight up with like perfect balance. And he just kind of like brushes his Fu Manchu and just slings it over his shoulder for a moment, and then pulls down this little like device that he had on his head, and he's just kind of like looking it over. Very interesting, very interesting. This must have come from a cave of a young dragon. He kind of like looks up into the sky with it just kind of like reflecting the natural sunlight. Well, this one's a bit too weak to really do anything very powerful with, but it can still pack a couple of decent punches. He tosses it back over to you guys, and you freak out a moment because you know that this thing can like explode.
Davia catches it.
Yeah.
Roll me a dex save.
Oh,
Just kidding.
God.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Boom! I'm fire resistant!
But not explosion resistant. Okay.
Looks like Jubei does have to pay me back.
With a properly sized crystal, at least for the Flamarix, well, I've made a very nice few bit of cannons with.
That would sound very useful. Don't you think so, Davia?
Cannon for our sheep? Does our ship that we currently have really seem like the sort that could handle a cannon?
Yeah, the ship could definitely handle a cannon. Right now, the ship you guys are on have a bunch of ballistae across them. Specifically, the ship you're on is definitely built more towards anti-infantry as opposed to just pure structural damage. Well, unless they ram into the other ship. It's a boarding ship, basically.
Oh, right. We're on the ship of those people looking to hunt down the same pirate, right?
Yeah. We're
Yes.
on a combat boarding ship, basically the old style galleon of the. Basically, the way I gather, it's like the old galleons from Rome, where you just ran the ship and board.
Oh, okay, got it.
More or less.
All right,
You're on a
Davi
marine vessel, for sure.
got it. All right, Davi kind of crosses her arms and kind of gives an uncertain look to Jubei. It's just like, well, the idea of a cannon sounds good. I am not particularly fond of the idea of making one for these other people's sheep. We do not have one of our own for us to hold on to.
Well, we could always take it back to the castle, I suppose, when we are done here.
Goro kind of paces around a moment. Actually, if you let me borrow that Flamarix again, I might be able to make you something quite nice.
What do you mean by quite nice?
He kind of eyes you up and down. I think it would be more fun to leave it as a surprise, but do not worry. It will be quite appropriate for someone of your skills.
Blunderbuss!
Dama kind of gives like a bit of a smirk at the dwarf, and she's like, "Oh, and what exact skills are you preferring to? I'm rather a skillful woman in many areas."
I will make you a pair of boots with these that'll let you rocket up things without a problem. You're not sure if he's being serious. You can roll another insight check if you want.
Yeah, I'll roll.
You know what? I'm gonna roll an insight check too, because Jubei's looking at him like he's insane.
Okay.
Is he fucking with us?
Hang on.
Oh.
I secret rolled something here, and so with both of your insights, you guys seen him make this really amazing pole arm. You're pretty sure you can make something pretty amazing. Rocket boots, you're not really sure what that means. Like Davi is pretty good at climbing. You're not sure why she would need a pair of boots that would just let her rocket up something, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, that's what she was thinking.
In fact, you're not quite sure how this dude even pegged her as a climber to begin with.
It's them mighty thighs. You know they go up trees.
Exactly. Tommy just gives the guy still like just kind of like a half amused, half suspicious kind of squint at him. Well, are you offering this as something we are paying for or as a gift? Because I do not know if I am willing to drop coin on some things that I do not even know what I am getting.
Well, let me put it this way. You give me the gem, I will make the item. If you do not wish to buy it afterwards, you don't have to.
But then we would be at the gem, would we not? Would you then buy
But
it
you're
from
not
us?
using it, are you?
I don't think this is how transactions work, Sir Dwarf. You see, basic economics require that.
But it is going to waste otherwise, and I promise you this, there's very few in this world that could manipulate such gems as well as I could.
That is fair.
Perhaps, but it could still be sold.
How about this, Sir Dwarf? You can create the item out of it if you wish, and if we decide that is not worth us, you could pay us for what you would deem a fair price for the gem itself, and then you may sell the item to others. Does that sound agreeable to you?
You said that you needed silver for the Nue, yes?
That would be very appropriately helpful for me and my companions, yes.
What if we do a trade? I will give you some silver weapons and bullets for the gem, and 3 pounds of fish.
4.
And 2 pieces of coral.
Well, Davia, does this sound amenable to you?
Why do we need fish?
Well, I mean, we are here in a place where I could possibly learn how to make sushi for you. I mean, you do say I need to work on my cooking.
Yes, but it's better for you to learn off of resources that we ourselves would not have to compensate financially for.
True. I think the fish was just a bonus, though, Davia. I believe it's the silver weapons that are the important thing here. Besides, I think it looked rather dashing as a werewolf hunter with some silver bullets.
Do not think I do not know what you are doing. But it works, so
I think there's a bit of confusion. He's asking for 3 pounds of fish, 2 coral, and the
Oh,
gem for the silvered weapons.
you had it
Oh.
back. You reversed it by saying, like, I will give you this. Yeah.
I meant it that way. It's like I said, they
Okay.
have odd requests.
I suppose we could get you some fish. I mean, fish ain't expensive. I'm sure I can afford some with the limited cash I have.
He holds a hand up. I want freshly caught fish, not the stuff from the market.
Ah, very good. Everin, you have weather manipulation powers. Would you be willing to go get us some fish? Sure thing, Jimmy.
I can help you get some fish if that's what you need. Do you need them seared?
Dynamite fishing. Fireball in the lake.
I would prefer them intact and non-cooked.
Right.
And don't forget the 2 pieces of coral.
Of course, I'm sure we can get
Those are
that some
very
coral.
important.
I suppose we can gather that as
And
well.
perhaps 1 pearl. We have pearls around here in the waters.
there are pearls.
Well, yes, there are.
Davia's treasure senses are tingling.
You got that sparkle in her eye now.
It looks like dollar signs. It's such beautiful.
You know, this does not sound like a bad trade. I would be up for this.
Very good, Sir Dwarf. We agree.
Very well. Well, you know where to find me.
Excuse me. Of course. Uh, I suppose, but I suppose you will have the weapons ready for us when we return. Then,
Of course.
thank you, my friend Dwarf. And afterwards, I may have wish to speak with you about something in private a bit later as well.
Interesting. Very well.
Looking around the shop, I'm guessing that there's probably weapons on display.
There are weapons on display.
What seems to be his specialty?
He has just about every weapon under the sun in this shop.
I'm guessing nothing that looks like Magitech.
No Magitech, but there are some very well enchanted items that he had crafted. Most of them are pretty expensively priced. You're not really sure how he makes money in this town, because you doubt anybody in this town could actually afford any of these items.
All right. Any guns?
Maybe he just likes to make things and keeps them and charges crazy prices so he doesn't have to give it away.
That's a fair point. Does he have any guns since he can make cannons?
There's some guns.
Dude, how good do they look?
Do what?
How good do they look?
They're finely crafted. You're not really sure what stopping power they got, though. Not just by looking at them.
On their way out, Davi's gonna kind of pause and look at the a few guns that she sees displayed, and then look at the dwarf and. Are these regular guns or are they enchanted?
Those over there are regular guns, but they are masterwork, as some would call them.
Taking out her own gun and kind of comparing it to the workmanship, how does it look like in comparison to the one that she already?
His look far better. They're very stylish, too.
Jubei's gonna see that and go, "So, dwarf, may I ask something?"
Well, I am not going to stop you.
Very sorry, of course. My friend Davia here is a master marksmanship, and I think she would be very interested into test firing one of your finely crafted guns.
I see. Which one? There's one that is very silver filigreed. It's kind of polished and brushed, with nice oak grips. Very classy kind of gun. There's another one that's just encrusted in jewels and gems. Very flashy.
Very gauche.
Yeah. Uh, and then the other one looks the least fancy of them all. But it's just like a simple gold-plated gun.
The devil with the golden gun.
She'll pick up the golden one and bejeweled one to test them.
Okay. He allows you to shoot the target that he damn near eviscerated with that pole arm. Just roll me a shot with your regular pistol, and I will tell you what the difference.
All right.
So the first one you shoot is the jeweled. It has a bit more of a kick, and it seems to do a smidgen more than what your pistol does, as it actually does 2d6 damage.
Ooh.
Davi arches his brow and looks it over. Is like, this one is not too bad. All right, then let's take this one, and we'll shoot the second one.
All right. What was the other one you grabbed?
The gold one.
Was it
Gold
the
one.
gold one? Right, the gold one. The gold one, interestingly enough, lets off a different kind of sound, and it didn't seem like it did too much at first, as the bullet just right through the target. And this gun in particular actually eats through 1 point of AC, but it still does 2d10 damage, or 1d10 damage, not 2d10.
Ooh.
It's just kind of a bit of a piercing quality.
Ah, crap. That's a hard choice.
So it's basically a gun that gives you a +1 to hit. Or does it?
More or less.
Yeah, I'm just. It doesn't lower AC. It just makes it easier to hit by 1, giving you a
Yeah.
+1 to hit. So yeah.
I was trying to explain it in a way that was.
I know. I was just clarifying that it wasn't like decreasing their armor class with each shot.
No, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I figured, but I wanted to double check. Because I'm like, I will put all my money into that for Davia. All 20 silver.
And Davi looks over the gold one and is just like, Also very interesting. This one definitely suits my style a bit more in the looks department, but as she looks at the bejeweled one, it's just like, this one has a bit more of a punch that I like. Now I'm curious about the silver one. Do you mind if I try that out as well?
By all means, go ahead.
She'll give a practice shot with the silver one.
The silver one, as it hits the target, you see a bit of smoke kind of billow out of the shot, the hole, and it does 1d10 plus 1d4 fire damage.
Oh,
Now you got real choices.
oh gosh.
Dobby's like, I want them all. This is for
Crap.
Mondays. This is for Tuesdays. This is for going out.
Tavi's gonna like weigh the bejeweled one and the silver one between both hands, just like, and then look at the dwarf and say, out of curiosity, what is the pricing for both of these?
Well, I would give you both of those for about 4,000 gold.
Let me look at my stuff. She kind of thinks it over for a moment and then kind of looks around the shop and then is like, wait a second, and remembers something that they obtained on their trip and is just like, as a blacksmith there, do you perchance work with a variety of ores?
Well, there's not many kinds of ores on this island, but yes, I do.
If I perchance were able to provide ores that you probably do not have on this island, actually, would that perhaps be able to adjust the price?
Perhaps depends on the ore and the quality of it.
All right. She's going to just take out one little example of the quote unquote mysterious blue ore.
He picks it up a moment and kind of brings down his little magnifying glass over his eye and examines it close. Tell me, how much of this stuff do you have? As he like chews on it a little bit, takes a whiff of it.
On me, I have about 15 pounds.
I have a further 25 pounds on myself, in fact.
Oh, very interesting. He takes the little chunk over to the forge a moment. Let me play around with this a little bit while you go get my fish, and I will let you know my decision when you're back.
Very well.
I don't think you'll need those firearms for fishing, now will you?
No. David will look towards the rest of the group and be like, well, I suppose we should put on our fishing hat.
I think that may be good. Bill, do you know much about fishing?
Yeah, I know a lot about fishing. Most fish end up in water. They also come in those like little packets. Most of the time they're dried, but they generally throw a bunch of salt in them, so they'll last for quite a while. Just don't want to eat too many of them at once; you'll get sick.
Alright, I suppose it is fortunate that I grew up on a sheep. I could teach some basic.
I do know a bit about fishing myself from the pond, but I guess we should go out and see what we can find. So I guess we have it over at the dock to try to find some fish. Luckily, 3 pounds of fish is like 1 or 2 fish, so.
It depends. If you find a correctly sized fish, that would work. Jubei, one other thing you know about these dwarves is they are very particular in their requests. So generally when they ask for 3 pounds of fish, they don't want 4, they don't want 2.9, they don't want 3.1, they want exactly 3.
Oh, good. Nothing like those exact mofos. Well, I suppose if we get one that's too big, we can cut it down the size. He never said it had to be in one piece.
Are they very particular about such things?
Apparently, they are very stickler about the exact things. I suppose that's what makes them such great smiths and all.
Wait, are we talking like empirical pounds, or are we talking about like Nipponese pounds?
I do not think there is a difference, Bill.
You say there's not a difference, but everybody knows there's a difference.
Yes, and your freedom fries are ready for you. Oy. Anyways, let's head over to the docks for some fishing, I guess.
How deep does the water by the docks look, by the way?
Pretty deep. It seems like there's a bit of a drop off right.
Alright,
Okay.
while we're walking there, Davi's just gonna kind of think to herself again, eyeing up Bill's armor and wondering how heavy.
It's incredibly heavy. My face is up here, lady. All right.
Oh, I know.
Anyways, Jubei unbuckles his armor for the purposes of this.
Okay.
His
Wait,
maker.
don't you people have fishing poles?
Well, fishing poles work great for some things, but we also need coral as well, Bill.
Oh, well, good luck with that.
Jubei will take out his sword and go, I suppose I can go down and see what I can find, eh, Davia? Care to join me for a dip?
Well, she looks at the group that would be above ground. I'm sure they'll be fine. Yes, I'll come along.
Don't worry, I'm sure Cinda can take care of them. Jubei, with sword in hand, dives into the water.
Oh, let me
Alright.
double check my weapon just so I don't accidentally do something dumb.
Yeah, you might want to leave your gun on shore.
No, I'm thinking more about my wakizashi, which has lightning damage.
I'm pretty sure only lightning damages when you swing it.
After wielding this weapon for so long, would I know that, Nana?
It's quite likely that it's not going to just annihilate you with electricity as soon as you touch water.
Okay, good. Davia will jump in then.
The Nipponese have a bad way that when it rains, many soldiers die.
Davia, as you hit the water, you die from
God.
electricity. Just kidding. You splash in just fine. The Wakizashi does not electrocute you and Jubei inside of the ocean.
Just making sure.
So the water is quite deep here. Jubei, the further down you go, the harder it's going to be for you to see.
Cast light.
Are you casting a light on your sword?
Yep. I should be able to see with that as a...
Fair enough. Yeah. No, you're good. And the two of you swim down. Make me an athletics check. Both
16.
of you. Yes. 11 and the 16.
My rolls are very average today.
Jubei seems to be a stronger swimmer, surprisingly, as he just is heading right down towards the bottom. Dava, you're trying to keep up. A little bit hard. Bill and Cinder, what are you guys doing up top?
Well, guess we'll be here for a while.
Is there anything
Seem
you'd
like-
like to do?
See, I'm just sitting there talking to Cinder.
I don't think Cinder's back yet.
You're probably right. Okay.
Cinder's
All right.
processing.
So, like,
Go
if they
ahead
die,
and,
is that what's next in charge then, or how does that work?
What was
Yeah.
that?
I get it. You're new here too. You probably don't know the rules either.
All right.
Say the truth.
Jubei and Davia, make me a perception check.
My consistently worst skill to roll. Sure.
Ooh.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah.
Alrighty. Jubei, you are having a hard time kind of adjusting to the salt water that's hitting you in the eyeball. You see the vague shapes of things, and at one point you think there's a shark on you, but no, it just turns out to be a big rock. Davia, is you're down there, you feel fairly comfortable in the briny sea. You're able to find a small coral reef about 30 feet ahead. As you swim over, I need you both to make me quick con save.
Of course.
13.
All right. Jubei, you're fine. Davia, you're starting to run out of breath. So you're going to need to resurface.
Alright, I'll swim back up to get a breath of air.
All right. Jubei, you still don't really see anything just yet, but you can go ahead and make me one more perception check.
Oh, God.
Swim back down.
All right.
I would have hoped Davi would have
You
pointed out the
find
coral.
yourself in a small kelp forest. You're kind of confused as to where you are. You're like, ugh, ugh. And make me a con save.
Me?
13 again.
No, Jubei. All right, you're still good. Davi, you swim down towards the coral reef that you had found earlier. You kind of look around and you don't see Jubei anywhere in the immediate area. You, I guess, probably kind of hope he just didn't drown.
Well, she's gonna start looking around then.
For Jubei,
Yeah, if she didn't see him when she resurfaced.
make me a perception check.
Shouldn't be that hard. I've got a big light on my sword. I should be glowing.
You're also in a kelp forest.
Yeah.
All right, you kind of scan around a moment and you see a faint like glow in kind of the east direction of where you are. Um, you're pretty. You know for a fact that's Jubei. It's not some weird marine animal that glows or anything. He seems to be in a kelp forest at the moment.
Does he look like he's tangled up?
No, he just looks lost.
Tavi kind of does a little roll of her eyes under the water and will make her way over to tap him on the back of the shoulder. Point towards where she found.
Thumbs up in the water.
All right. Make me quick con saves.
24.
All right, you're both good. You're able to hold your breath without much of a problem. Jubei might be part fish. Maybe he spent too much time with Kiros. Sender, they are in the water, by the way. You're free to join them if you wish. I don't know if a Warforged likes salt water.
Cinder's going to see that Davi has resurfaced and just turn to Bill and Evren. If they take too long, I think I should probably go down there. Perhaps. I don't think you fleshy sorts are rather good at holding your breath.
I'm sure she'd be fine. I'm pretty sure Davi can breathe underwater.
Do I know much about tieflings to know that she can't?
Make me a intelligence check.
I think they're like part eel or something.
But,
Bill's gonna be the reason Davi drowns to death.
I think that's a save, so -3.
So 12.
13? You know that they are not marine folk. They are a part infernal or part fiend.
Bill, if anything, that is the exact opposite of what they can do.
What do you mean? Are you saying? What do you mean?
They're not eels, or rather watery creatures in the first place.
Whoa, are you saying that, like, weird devil people can't be from the sea? Because that's profiling. A little bit racist.
Then I guess I'm racist.
Well, I'm pretty sure we'll see bubbles or something. There is danger down there. Or they'll send up, like, a fireball or something.
That's what I do, but alright. Cinder continues to just watch the water.
Alrighty. So the two of you make your way towards the small coral reef. You guys see many types of coral down there. You know you need 2 pieces. What kind of coral do you grab?
What sort are there?
I have no idea because I'm not a coral expert. There's a nice red one that kind of looks like a spindly X.
Okay, so like a red one.
And then there's another one that kind of looks like a little ball, and it's like a light blue.
Okay, well, like, why not? Juba looks at Davi, goes, red and blue.
She shrugs.
Okay, Juba takes out his sword and cuts off the coral.
Just to be safe, Davi is gonna cut off 2 pieces of 2 other types.
Okay. We'll say you find like a yellow one and a purple one. Roll me some con saves.
22.
Oh god.
Davia drowns.
Okay.
Davia seems to like as she's cutting the coral, her shirt gets snagged on something, and like Juby, you don't notice it immediately, but she panics a little bit, and you kind of like look over towards her, and you just see these huge bubbles of air escaping. She kind of lightly panics, not sure what has caught her. She seems to be drowning now.
I instantly
God.
swim over to dislodge her and get her up in above the water.
Make me an athletics.
$19.
Davia, you can make me an athletics as well to help. Okay. Bit of a close call there, as Jubei dislodges you from this giant piece of corally rock that had caught onto your shirt and pants of some sort, and was holding you down. You reach the air and you just kind of gasp out. Jubei catches a breath as well, I assume. He
Yeah, I
doesn't
would have.
stay under the water.
Are you okay, Davia?
Yes. I am alright. Oh gosh.
See, Cinder? Told you they could breathe underwater.
They don't look like they're breathing underwater, but
Well, that's because they're above ground right now. You should have seen them when they were in the water.
Davi's gonna ready a shot. No, I'm kidding.
technically there's no ground beneath them right now, but, well, immediately.
So did you guys find it?
I did find 2 pieces of coral indeed.
Do I still have what I found, or did I drop it?
I'll say with your nat one, you dropped him.
Davi's gonna be like, almost. Give us a few more minutes.
Do you want me to have...
At the moment,
Alright.
why don't
I'll
you
just
hold
look-
these, and I'll hand the 2 pieces of coral I have over up to Cinder.
We'll let you get your air breath, Davia.
Davi's already got under while Jubei went to go her turn.
Oh, there she goes again. Consummate swimmers, those folk.
My functions aren't exactly a holding rack, but I guess this... I'll hold
Yeah.
on to them for now.
If you 2 wish to look for some fish or something, that might be appreciated.
Oh yeah, we should have asked Davia to look for fish while she was down there.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
And Cinder begins walking off to look around for fish.
Jubei dives back under. Oh,
Cinder, you find a couple of fishing poles that aren't in use.
Hmm.
You feel that these would be sufficient?
The idea was to not have them blown up.
Yeah, no blown up fish.
No dynamite
So
fishing.
Plus, it might be ill advised with Davia and Juba into the water.
Just see like this giant like shockwave. Just.
I don't think she's ever used a fishing rod before, so she's going to attempt to just. She's gonna ritual cast identify.
On the fishing pole?
No, actually, she's gonna straight up cast it. No ritual cast. Probably takes too long.
It's 10 minutes. And
That's
you're
too
doing
long.
this on the fishing pole.
Yeah, she's not quite sure what it is. Oh, well, she'll examine it first. She'll examine it first.
It's
Not
a
quite
fishing
sure
rod.
how. I don't think she's familiar
You
with
have a
those.
feeling that you want to put the hook in the water.
She grabs the fishing rod and Bill, you're familiar with these. How exactly do you use a fishing rod?
That is an interesting question. Let's see here. I think I got something in the manual for it.
Okay,
See
I
here.
don't care. She just throws the.
Fishing rod, M1. Can be used to catch fish. Warning, not as good as your rations. Alright.
Is there anyone like nearby that she can observe?
Let's see here. Alright, here's the
Make
hook.
a perception.
Alright, makes sense. There's no spool. Well, I guess this one's broken. It ain't got no spool. But, you just dip this hook thing in the water with some bait and you get a fish.
You see like an old man sitting in a chair on the end of the dock who is drinking a nice cold, relaxing in the sun a bit with his fishing rod kind of sat in this little thing in front of him, and he's just like waiting for a bite.
She's gonna observe him, and then when she sees him do the full throw or whatever in, which after maybe 2 minutes she grows impatient, she's just going to walk up towards him.
All right, Bill, roll me a nature check. Okay. You, Bill, you do as the instructions say, as Cinder walks off to go talk to this old fisherman. And after a few minutes, you feel a tug on the pole. And you kind of like pull back, and you catch something. It's a very small guppy. Did I cut out again?
Nope.
No.
No, we hear you.
Okay.
Bill, we can't
Yeah,
hear
it's
you though.
and now we can't hear Bill.
Dead.
No.
Womp womp womp.
You there, Bill?
As the guppy turns into a demon and eats him.
No.
Technical difficulty.
Ah,
There we go.
There we go.
there you go. Congrats, you have caught a 7-ounce guppy.
Alright. What's the manual say here? Alright. Let's see here. You can use small fish to catch bigger fish. Alright. Okay, little buddy, you're going back home. I'll put the small fish on the hook.
All right, so you hook the fish, and you toss the bait out. Make me another nature check.
Alright.
You're kind of waiting for the moment. Cinder, you make your way over towards the old man. He kind of lets out a yawn, takes a swig of his drink, doesn't seem to notice you coming.
Greetings. This fishing implement, how do I use it?
Oh! He speaks Nipponese at you. Do you understand Nipponese?
No.
You have no idea what he's saying.
Can you speak common?
He kind of blinks at you a moment. My common, very bad.
Right. Show me how to use the... And she points at the fishing rod. Fishing implement.
Oh! You need bait.
She walks away. She's just going to look at the fishing rod, toss it aside, and just walk into the water.
Okay. So, Davia and Jube, make me a perception check.
Fucking have a good one finally. Yes, I can.
Alright, Jube, you kind of find this small, like, little, I guess farm isn't the right word, but group of clams at the bottom.
Cluster.
Cluster, yeah, cluster of clams. Davia, you notice something kind of glimmer. Like the sun hits it just right and it glimmers and it catches your eye. You're not sure what it is.
How deep is it?
Fairly deep. It seems to be kind of resting up against a rock.
So it's not moving?
Doesn't seem to be moving.
You will get closer to look.
Alright, well, you roll me a con save, yo, real quick. You're both good. Cinder, as you're under the water, what are you doing?
She's just going to spear fish with her dagger that's in her hand.
Make me a nature check to find a appropriately sized fish, you think.
Ooh.
Well, you find a pretty big fish. If you had to guess, it would be about 3 pounds. You can make an attack at disadvantage as you are underwater, making a melee attack.
Isn't it if it's a dagger, it's fine, or is it
No, it has to be a spear,
has to be a spear?
or a crossbow. Are the only two things that don't get disadvantage.
Can I cast hold person on the fish?
That wouldn't work. Because it's not a person.
I was about to say you can try, and then it wouldn't work. So no, the fish is
Oh
not
yeah,
a person.
the fish is not a person.
There's an operative word in there.
There is.
Old person. Fish are people too, damn it.
I don't know. It's early in the morning.
It's a shame no one can cast speak with animals down here.
I miss Kira.
Oh yeah, just come over here and be captured.
Would have worked for Kiros. Would have worked
Kyril's
for
good
Kira.
about it. Yep.
Can I cast alchemical orb
I want
To
to go
what
with.
effect?
Freeze it.
I want to go with cold. Yeah.
Um. Sure. Let's see what happens.
I mean, I could toll the dead actually.
You could.
I think that's probably the best. Let's go toll the dead. The fish make a wit save.
What's the DC?
DC is
14 for you, isn't it?
should be 14. Yeah.
No, 15, because you got plus 3 to your
15.
modifier.
15. Yeah, 15.
I was so hoping the fish would pass.
Yeah. Roll your D8 of damage, I guess.
Yeah, roll your damage.
Um.
This is some intense fishing.
Oh, yeah. 2d8, man, not 2d12 because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
undamaged.
We roll 2. Even better.
The fish explodes.
What?
Too much damage. You just see the thing just like rip in half into a few pieces. Now there's just fish blood clouding the water.
She goes look for another fish.
Pop.
All right, Jubei. You make your way down towards the cluster of clams. There's a couple of big ones. There's a few medium and a lot of smalls. What do?
I'll go to one of the large ones. That's how generally it works, and I'll pry a couple open to see whether or not they got. You know what? I'll just How big is big? I mean, are they pocketable?
One of them seems to be the size of a dinner plate.
Okay. Well, I'll grab the dinner plate sized one and a couple of the smaller ones and just swim up for them. But before I swim up, I'm just gonna look quickly around to see where Davia is.
As you look, you see Davia approaching something towards a rock. Davia, you see something glimmering. It's kind of hard to tell what it is. What do?
Well, I was approaching it before. Have I gotten close enough yet?
Yeah, you've gotten pretty close to it. Seems to be some sort of ring.
A ring?
Some sort of ring. You're not sure.
Getting like right up close to it. What's it look like?
It's a very thin ring. Thin metal. Make me a perception.
Oh God.
Perception or appraisal?
Perception.
Damn it.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank God it wasn't a disadvantage.
Well, technically, just kidding. So you look at it closely and you kind of like shift around, and then you notice it's actually a fish hook.
A fish hook attached to the ring?
No, the ring is a fish hook.
In other words, Bill was about to catch you.
Oh. Looking up, can she see the line attached to it?
With a 17 perception, I would say you can see. Yeah, you can see the line.
And the figure holding the line, is it familiar?
You cannot tell.
Davi's gonna give it one hard yank and then
Bill. As you're sitting there waiting patiently for a fish to bite, you see the old man on the other side of the dock just yell like, "Oh!" And he just like excitedly is like trying to reel something in, and then like pulls out nothing. He's like, "Oh."
Don't be discouraged, guy. It's all about patience. Just take this time to think about our glorious empire and all the good it does. I give him a thumbs up, a smile of encouragement, which is hard to see in under a helmet.
He just looks at you very confused and shakes his head like, "What?"
Understand like 1 out of every 10 words.
Okay. Well,
Don't worry, Mr. Manuel. We'll bring enlightenment to these savages. Okay.
the fisherman casts the line back out. Davia, make me a deck save.
Oh no.
Oh dang! Dang it! All right. The hook sinks in with the sinker, and it does not catch your clothing again this time. I was so hoping it would. Would have been hilarious.
So approaching
Alright.
Jubei, he's like carrying this like large clam.
Yeah, he's jamming out with his clam out. I need you both to make me con saves.
11. Oh no!
God damn it!
Again!
Yeah, I don't know, Davia. You just something like attaches to your leg and like
God
yanks
damn
on
it.
you for a moment, and you like panic again. Jubei, you notice this.
Junpei goes, swims over her, tries to help untangle her again while holding a giant clam. Actually, he'll hand her the clam and untangle her.
She will hold on to it and calmly let him do that despite the burning in her leg.
Jubei, make me a sleight of hand, as she seems to be tangled on some old fishing line.
Fuck, this isn't my specialty. 20!
Oh,
But hey,
thank
you're
you.
able to undo it to a point where she's able to like slip free. Do you wish to help her swim?
Yeah, we'll swim up together.
Especially since I'm carrying this big clam now.
Yeah. That was...
It's a pretty heavy clam.
I mean, you can hand it back to me if you're free.
All right, as you guys make it back up to the surface, you gasp for air once again, Davia, for the second time.
God fucking damn it.
Davia, are you okay?
I hate this fucking island.
Oh, I just imagine after everything Davia's been through, she dies by fishing wire.
Right? I'd be so mad. And
Well,
Davi's gonna like finally like actually like look at what's in her hands and then look at Jubei, just be like, I went back down to retrieve the corals that I dropped. Why'd you pick up a clam?
Davia, you, Davia, clams generally are what have pearls in them.
Oh, well, yes, continue doing that. And she'll shove it in his hand and dive back down to pick up what she dropped earlier and not get distracted. This
Jubei
Bill,
puts
make
the
me
clam.
another
Jubei hands
make me another
the.
nature check.
Oh yeah.
do what?
all right.
Bill's making a nature
Hmm.
check.
Oh god.
You can keep talking, Jubei. I just wanted him to make a nature check.
Now our first at 20 of the night.
Bill, you feel a large tug on the line as something bites onto the hook Make
I'll
me
start.
a athletics.
Already then.
Watch this not one. Oh.
Oh, hey, you're able to like yank up and you fight the fish for a little bit. It puts on a small fight, but really no match for your superior human arms as you pull up a 3-pound fish.
Hey there, little guy. You gonna make somebody supper tonight.
Jubei will quickly put the clam next to Bill and go, Bill, watch that, and I dive back down after Davia.
Hey, Cinder, can you watch this clam?
Sin's
where'd you
still
go?
in
You
the
look
water.
over and she's gone.
Oh, good. Alright, I'll take the clam and the fish with me back to the blacksmith. I assume this guy wants this thing fresh.
Okay. All right, Davia, actually Bill also has the coral, doesn't
Well, he has Jubei's. I dropped the 2 different types that I
I
was
think
holding.
Cinder had the coral.
Oh, Sheila would have left it on the next to Bill after she dived in.
Oh my gosh, what am I, the group pack mule? Sure, I'll take the coral with
seems to be the case. All right. Yeah, so you head back with most of the items that you well, 2 of them. You're not sure if the clam has a pearl in it or not. Uh, but anyway, Davia, make me a perception.
Decent.
Yeah, you're kind of looking around, and you think you find your. You're not entirely sure if that's the exact same pieces that you had, so you just kind of swim towards it. Make me a quick con save. You're good. You're able to hold your breath as you make your way towards it. Sender, make me a nature check.
Uh,
You find another pretty big fish, about 3 pounds.
Dagger. And she's going to, if she misses, she's going to Thunderwave.
Okay.
Um,
Make your attack.
at disadvantage.
Oh, that should hit.
Yeah, that hits the fish. You just like spear it through its side, and it just like flops a couple of times before kind of curling towards you a little bit as it dies.
Retrieves it and she just heads back up back up and looks around for Bill.
Nowhere to be seen.
She looks for the coral.
It's gone.
Alright, well, I guess he's gone back, and she heads back towards the fishing, towards the blacksmith.
Okay. Jubei, make me a perception.
Oof.
You're having a hard time spotting Davia. She might be further off. Make me a con save. Now you're able to hold your breath. Davia, you make your way down and you find a couple pieces of coral. One of them doesn't look like yours, but I don't know if you care at this point.
Well, she's a stubborn person, so
Oh, God.
she's gonna go back to where she saw the, coral reef area. and just chop off 2 to pieces.
Make me a con save.
Oh, thank God.
Huh, didn't update for me yet. Just now did. Okay, yeah, you're good. As you chop off a couple of pieces, do you head back up?
Yep.
Alright, Jubei, make me another perception check.
But I also wanted to get those clams too, because I wanted to get one clam might not have a pearl, so I was going to collect a few more.
You see Davia heading up. You know where the clam cluster is, so you can just go back to it if you wish.
Okay, I'll quickly grab some more clams and head back up after Davia.
Alright, make me a con save.
I
Alright,
am
you're good.
Aquaman.
Clearly. Everything's better down where it's wetter. Alrighty, so you grab there's like another dinner plate size clam. And then I assume you grab a few of the small ones again?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. And as you guys resurface, you notice that Bill, Everin, and Cinder are all missing.
Oh, you know they could wait for us.
I am not all that surprised, to be honest.
Neither am I. I suppose we should get out of here and get going then, eh, Davia?
Yes, let us go
Fucking-
catch
Juve.
up with him.
Yep.
Quick question, where'd you put your arm?
It was fucking with Bill and them, so hopefully Bill grabbed that with the rest of them.
Shit, no, I ain't grab that stuff. I ain't your pack mule.
Cinda would have grabbed it if she saw it when she came up.
Well, Jubei, you get up to there and you notice that your armor is now missing. You're not sure what happened to it.
I will assume one of the 3 that were guarding it grabbed it. I mean, at least Everin would have, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But okay, so you guys, the 2 of you are heading to the blacksmith.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. The whole time, Jubei, you're kind of worried that your armor is now missing, but you feel a sense of relief when you see the armor at the blacksmith, where the blacksmith is looking at the fish that Bill had caught. This is a very nice fish. Weighs just the right weight as well.
And there we also have your coil here.
Cinda slaps down the fish that's like currently like just bleeding.
Unnecessary.
Here's another, just in case.
The dwarf looks at the other fish. I do not need that one.
Well, dinner for tonight. Jufei says as he picks it up, and a knowing dwarven custom, just kind of like, we're not pushing this. Then he takes out his he takes out a dagger and just starts prying open all the clams he's got to see if he can find a pearl in them.
Roll me a D100.
Oh, fun. 52.
Okay. In one of the smaller ones, you find a nice small black pearl. It's about the size of a pea.
Okay, I take the pearl and I hand it to the dwarf because he never specifies size or color. He just said pearl.
He looks at it a moment. Very nice. This one will do just fine. Now, I believe that is everything
Indeed.
on your end. And allow me to fulfill my side of the bargain. He sets down a roll and kind of unrolls it, and there is a couple of silvered katanas for those that wish to have a sword. There is a lot of silvered bolts for a crossbow, silvered arrows for a bow. There is a couple of silver daggers, and then there is a pouch full of silvered bullets.
Wait, those silver bolts? Damn.
Yep, there's 20 of each ammunition type, so make the shots count.
Wait, are there 20 silver bolts or no 20 silver bolts?
There are 20 silver bolts, 20 silver arrows, and 20 silver bullets.
I'll
Right.
snag the bullets.
I'll grab the bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in the party actually has a bow and arrow, do they?
Well, I mean, there was one who did, but that's
They left the
neither here nor
party.
there. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody does, but I don't know. Maybe somebody wants to try bow and arrow.
I'll pick up the bolts, the bows, I guess. I'll also grab one of the katanas.
Is there another sword or something of that nature?
Yeah, there were 2 silvered katanas,
Alright, I'll take one of the other silver katanas.
2 silvered daggers for the wizard and the sorcerer. Although I assume they're probably going to mostly be using magic.
Yeah, she'll take a dagger.
And yeah, so that's all the silver weapons.
Jimmy looks at the katana, thinks it to himself, and turns to Dov. He's like, Davia, would you prefer the silver katana, or would you prefer to see if the wakatashi works on the creature?
Well, if there is no one else who is able to wield it, I can add it to my arm.
Perhaps. I have a feeling my blade is more than sufficient for the task of killing this creature.
Alright, very well. She'll pick up one of the katanas too.
Alright, so the katanas has the same stats as a longsword.
Except they
Just
do have a
FYI.
finesse quality, well, I think they believe they do. I guess it doesn't matter for Davia. Her strength and her dex are the same, aren't they?
What's the damage dice for longsword again?
D8.
1d8, yeah.
One-handed, 2d8 two-handed, or a d10 two-handed.
Shoot, I wish it was 2d8 two-handed.
Jesus.
Alright, once she gets that settled, she'll look at the dwarf and say, and also, how is examining the aura?
Ah, yes, I found something very interesting. Observe. He made just kind of like a square plate, and it's hanging up on the target. And he grabs that pole arm that he had made, and he begins to spin it around a couple of times before he thrusts it towards the target. The vortex of wind howls out towards it, and you see the target around the metal gets pretty messed up by the hit, but the metal itself seems to possibly absorb some of the magic. And when he kind of moves it to the side, the target is pristine behind. Well, it seems this material that you have quite a bit of, well, is quite protective. So, if you give me, 40 pounds that you have, I will happily give you both the pistols. for 1,000 gold.
Davy looks at Jubei since he had a chunk of the ore. He's just like,
Is that alright with you? After all, some of that was yours.
One moment, Davy. I'd just like to have a moment with my friend here. And Jubei just wants to grab the dwarf and, I wish to speak with you in private just for one moment, my friend.
Ah, very well.
oh,
There you go.
I agree that, would you perhaps be able to do something else for me for this ore? I wish to...
Perhaps.
Well, I have been forging a particular blade of late for my friend Davia over there, and I was curious, perhaps if you would assist me in such a matter. This ore seems to be exactly what I was looking for. As payment, I do have a magical shield I could use for you. And I give him I slowly take out Krios's old magical shield that was mine, the shield of initiative.
He kind of looks over. Very interesting. I suppose we could work out a bit of a deal. You said you wanted my assistance on making.
It is a blade I have been working on. It is mostly complete, except for some of the enchantment and the metal, but I've already crafted the handle and started base work on the enchantment. If this metal seems to be perfect for the blade to give it the defensive qualities I was hoping, and there is a way I do know of to link the sword to my own essence, so I would be able to cast protective spells through it to the wielder.
I see. Well, I still am figuring out the properties of this metal. As far as I can tell, it is very good at absorbing magic. Now, if it can recast that magic, well, I am not sure.
Perhaps
But
the
I can play around with it a bit tonight while you all hunt the Nue, and we'll see what I find out.
that would be most beneficial. Thank you, my friend. And obviously, out of game, you know what I'm trying to build here.
Vaguely, I remember you want to be able to cast shield through it, right?
I sent you a message with it, but I can send it to you again if you
That's
want.
right. That's right. You know you did. I'll just find it.
Yeah, I got it again if you want it again. The thing I was hoping to create, but I could. It'll take me to. I already have it. I'll just link it to you again, so you don't have to go scrolling for God knows how far. That's what I was after. I'm hoping the metal of the blade matches the +1 AC thing I'm hoping to get.
Okay, yeah, no, that's right.
And the handle
I
would do
remember
the
that.
magic. The way I envision is that the gems in the handle was the magic, but that blade would make perfect sense for the AC bonus.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I will let you know our game. The material will work, but I'm gonna let Goro kind of figure that out himself.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking this would be a good opportunity to finally put that in game proper.
Yeah, I'm trying to like throw out the not throw them out, but show you guys what the interesting materials can do if you find somebody willing and capable enough to manipulate such elements in a
Oh, yeah,
expertly manner.
exactly. And in fact, there's one last thing I'm going to say to him in character here.
Okay.
uh, by the way, my friend, may I ask why you are doing on this island?
Ah, that is a bit of a long story, my friend. Perhaps if you guys have a successful hunt, I would tell it to you.
Oh, that would be most appreciated. And I'm just curious because, well, this is embarrassing for me to say, but I am what you would call a newly appointed lord.
Newly appointed lord, huh?
Indeed, and we're always on the lookout for any son who would help our our little land grow and protect the others. In fact, I have already discussed. I intend to discuss with the mayor in more detail, but I was hoping to include you within my domain to help protect your area.
I see. Well, where is this land of yours?
Oh, and I will tell him where the castle keep is.
I see. That seems to be quite a ways away.
It is a bit of a distance, but as I said, it is not less a sake of taxing or anything. It is more of a promise to assist you if the town needs any sort of protection. I myself would come personally for such a task. As I kind of noticed that, I'm assuming at this point he might have noticed that I happen to have the symbol of the order around my neck.
You got a feeling he's probably known this entire time.
Yeah, that I'm one of the Order of the Sun. Like, it is still part of my duty to do so.
I see. Well, that is quite admirable, but that would be between you and the chieftain.
Of course, and I intend to have that discussion with him, but more importantly, I was more just, if you so wish to look for a change of scenery occasionally, my keep is open for such talent of yours, Sir Dwarf.
Well, we will see.
Very well. I thank you again, and give him a big Nipponese bow. I suppose we should return to my companions before they get a bit flummoxed.
Flummoxed. Very well.
Back to General.
On Sundays, I play once a month.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Games though.
So
I
as
was
Juve
just,
and Goro come out, they kill you all. Just kidding.
I was just gonna say, Nano, that I'm gonna be heading off now.
You got that thing?
Yeah, I gotta get ready for that thing, and my friend's coming over to pick me up in about 20
That's
minutes.
okay.
So.
We're just about to wrap it up for today, actually.
All right,
It was just a shorter session to get everybody
fair
back
enough.
in the
Yeah,
swing
yeah,
of things now that.
Alrighty,
Alrighty, cool. Well, you have fun.
all right, cheers. See ya.
See ya.
Do we see them return?
Yes. Indeed, you do.
David kind of has her hands on her hip, just tapping her foot a little impatiently. It's just like,
So, did you think about it?
Of course, Davia. I agreed to the price.
What? No, I am playing for the price. I meant, are you fine with
Yeah, that's what I
pitching in
mean.
your? Oh,
That,
got it.
sorry, I do agree to pitch in the ore.
Oh, very well then. I will. All right, I will hand over the rest of my ore and 1,000 gold for both pistols.
Very well. Thank you.
insert me deleting the one and wincing.
Just imagine there's like this moment where he's like got the bag of gold and Davia's hand is like them not letting go for a minute.
You see the dwarf take the gold, and he walks over to the forge and begins to pour the gold into the mag.
Like someone just stabbed her in the chest.
Oh yes, this will work out very nicely. And he starts to work something up in there with the gold.
Also, could you type out the what the stats were again for the jewel and so?
Yeah, the silver one is 1d10 piercing plus 1d4
Fire. And the other one you said was 2d6 piercing.
2d8.
Or 2d8
No,
piercing. I thought you said 2d6.
Did I? I don't remember.
Yeah, you said 2d6.
That's right. Yeah, 2d6.
2d8's fucking crazy.
That's right. Yeah, So it's 2d6 plus whatever your
Yeah, plus
modifier is.
yeah.
Nice.
Now Davia's got some sexy pistols with her.
Got 3 pistols on my belt buckle.
Regular misfortune over here.
And some silver ammo.
Yep. Yeah. So I think that's where we're gonna call it tonight, since Everin has not returned and Cinder had to leave. Next week we will begin the hunt for the new.
Yay. You know, I kind of love that this episode was more of a beach episode than our beach episode. That and the fact that right back into it, Davi almost died twice. This is getting silly.
I think the character just wants to end it.
God.
So shitty.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. It should get pretty interesting in the next couple of sessions.
I'm excited to see, since we got Davia's story stuff coming right up.
Oh yeah.
Interesting to see how that.
So am I.
As am I. I so want to see this.
So many questions.
So many
So
questions. Yeah, Juba has so many questions.
I don't need sleep. I need answers.
God damn you all. Wake up, Everett. I need answers now. She has no excuse. I've been up since 4 a.m. God damn it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys had fun tonight. I know it was not the session I planned to do right after the last one, but I think it was a
fun.
good one.
Got us in the swing of characters again. Man, I had to freaking kind of dial in Jubei's voice again. It's been so long since I've used him.
I use Bill's voice for a number of voices. In fact, it's the same voice I use for Big Jim. So-
Guys, I gotta head off now.
Oh, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow
See ya.
then, Davia. Bye.
That was the other reason why I wanted a shorter one tonight.
Yeah, you know, Davia had to get going too, because she's packing.
Yeah, it just wasn't a good week to run a full session, but
Hey, you know what? Anything at this point, I'll take, man. I have literally been GMing 3 games a week, and I haven't played, you know...
fair.
This is my only game.
Fair.
I'll be playing in a Traveler's campaign for the first time. I've never played Traveler before.
Oh, dude, guys, let me tell you what happened to me over the week. I very seldomly play in this West Marches Dark Heresy campaign. That's flavored after XCOM. I don't know if either of you have ever played XCOM.
I have.
On the computer.
Yep.
So it's an XCOM Dark Heresy game, right? And one of the officers, I was the other one, is getting ready to do his like senior project for college